I would like to present our paper regarding wearable features hackathon, and the basis for this is co-creation. So it's co-creating a hybrid interdisciplinary learning experience. So first and foremost, I would like to discuss what the hackathon is. So what is the Wearable Features Hackathon? WFH is a co-created course that was offered in the University of the Philippines, Open University, UPOU, under the BAMS program, Bachelor of Arts in Multimedia Studies. It explores the possibility of a student or me co-creating a course with faculty to make interesting, relevant, and innovative changes. So what is co-creation? Co-creation is basically an approach implemented in human-centered design process where users and stakeholders provide insight in a product being created or innovated. So co-creation in terms of education, the end user would be the student as the receiving end, and co-creation in that term would be the student providing feedback and assisting with the designing and the facilitation of the courses. So the main goal is always to involve the end user in the creation and innovation process. So the following research questions will be attempted to be answered. So what are the challenges in co-creating a course in the perspective of a student participating in the co-creation process? How can participant involvement in the co-creation of course content improve learning outcomes? And how can co-creation aid in increasing engagement, satisfaction, and learning outcomes from the participant co-creating the course? So for related research, we do have a few. So first and foremost, Boville identified 4 student roles that student takes during the process of co-creation, and the diagram beside the text would be their presented model would be consultant, co-researcher, pedagogical co-designer, and representative. So for the 4 roles, representative would be covered by the students, mostly student directive in forms of student council and organizations, and representation of student as students, where the other 3, consultant, co-researcher, and co-designer, would be a give and take or a shared responsibility from faculty and staff and the student participating in the co-creation process. Next is fieldings. And the project it was done in a secondary school. This was also referenced in the previous paper where they opted for development process. So one is student as a data source, student as a respondent or active respondent, researcher, then co-researcher in this case. Now, I do have some context in for the Philippines. So Intal discussed in how co-creation is processed during here in the Philippines and how it's applied. So it's mostly conducted through the integration of teaching modalities, teaching technologies, new developments, and the possibilities gained from collaborations from different stakeholders. This is also discussed during the reflective or the auto-ethnographic paper of Al Francis Libero on 2019, where he stated he discussed his findings through his reflections during the process of doing the digital collective initiative. Lastly, it would be SPAG's 2014 model of continuum practice, which theoretically frames that a process of engagement in developing courses by encouraging the student in designing courses to acknowledge experience, from being a passive listener to an active participant in the course. So the intended methods that's going to be used would be a reflective method, or the same as so it would be somewhat of an autobiographical content, where parts of the paper will highlight some of the primary author's realizations that is affected during the course of the development or the development of the WFH. So it's somewhat of a combination of personal insight, observation, and ethnographic process. So since the course has been already running since October of this year, 2022, there are already been some behaviors or insights that has already been taken note, which are in our paper. Then, so the progress from co-creator, from collaborator, merely an observer, and given feedback as a student to the co-creator process is highlighted on the paper. Then what steps did the advisor take in facilitating this involvement or this growth in me as the student participant? And also, the paper will be highlighting the perception of the student participating in the process, the level of autonomy, support, and decision making the advisor gives. So perceived challenges stated in the previous researches, the research that was already cited before, was the power distribution, where power is mostly thought of by students as something like it's always in faculty, always in staff, always in the institution, and they merely provide feedback through just feedback forms after the course, or just mostly just taking in the the course itself and having no autonomy, no decision making in the process of how to develop it or how to further present it. The research is basically an attempt in co-creation, mostly rather than just co-creating OERs, to the student helping facilitate or helping create actual change or active change in actually increasing their stakeholder relationship with their own learning process. So there are some conclusions and some recommendations already. So further research and my observation, further research needs to be fully understood the viability of co-creation in the institution with different participants. So a different set of facilitators, a different set of students, a different course would apply a different outcome. I do have a background in the creative process since I have been working in the creative field for more than 15 years now. And I do have an understanding of how the co-creation process is being implemented in the design industry. So a person who does not have that type of background would have a different result, would have a different perspective. So further research with a different student would provide a different, and I would love to take a look at what they find out as well. So co-creation is also, for me, a great opportunity for any student to experience as part of growth, development, and bringing something to the industries that they're going to partake in, that they're going to join, as something beneficial to them, not just for the institution or the academic institution itself, but for the students themselves. This is also a drive that would allow the students to, I would like to say to themselves that I would like to try this out. I would like to participate. And basically, we do have the papers, the references that we have cited here. And I thank you very much for your time in listening to my presentation.